Hello, hello. Happy Thursday. I don't see why democracy failed us. It was one of the three.
Hello.
Oops. Sorry.
Happy Thursday.
You cannot see me.
I don't see why democracy failed us.
Sorry.
It was one of the three.
Oops. What's
Happy
happening?
Thursday.
Okay. I had too many things. I had too many things echoing in the background. All right, it's fine. It's fine. I'm here. Yeah. Yeah. No, I got it. Yeah, it's sorted. Yeah. No, I had a tab open and it was muted, and then when I went live, it was not muted. So, Tatsuo, hi, surrounded by perverts. Hi. Hope you're doing well. I mean, of the democracy choices, this was one of the three, so yeah. So there's no failing of democracy unless you were like hoping for it to go a certain way. Oh, I see. You added the fourth. Well, yesterday I had mentioned the poll was closed. So it was 3 that were tied for first, and so it was RNG after that. So that's where we're at. So all right. Give me a second. I'm getting my life sorted out. Boop. Okay. Frank, hello. How's it going? Hope you're doing all right. Okay, I'm just getting sorted. Tatsuo, back home tomorrow. Nice. Oh, okay. No worries. I hope that you had a good training session, though, Tatsuo. So totally understand. Keep up the good work on your streak. Yeah. Frank, thank you so much for popping in. Have fun in Ireland. Woo! Yeah, get some rest, and so that you can explore. Be a tip-top adventuring, shape. All right. Take care. Thank you so much. Okay. Bloop. All right. Tomate. I'm just getting one more thing sorted out. Okay. Turn this music off. Passed with 100%. Nice. Good work. Keep up the good work. Wow. Well. All right. We are doing a new walkthrough. Eldrasil, annyeong. Green Yoshi, hello. Yay. Well, it's a 4-way tie today, but yesterday when the polls closed, it was a 3-way tie. So I just rolled a D. Well, I rolled a D4, and I like 4 was gonna be a wild, but it didn't even matter because it didn't land on that. So, did you miss the battle? I don't think so. No battle, not that I know of. Battle of the bands, battle of the boyfriendos. Nah. Yay! Hope y'all are having a good Thursday. I'm ready for this week to be over. Yeah, the battle. Yeah. Oh yes. We did. That's what I was saying. It was a 3-way tie yesterday. And so I did some RNG. So yeah, I guess we could have Heart of the Cards, y'all. That is an option, but we will be. Yeah, we're starting our new playthrough, and we're gonna speed run through some part. There's gonna be some parts that it's like exactly the same as other playthroughs, so we're just gonna fast track through those, and then we'll get to the new stuff. Methinks. Okay, here we go. Boop. Okay, I will save your ears. There we go. All right. From the start. Okay.
ねえ、知ってる？
worries, right? It's in the title. Spoiler!
カラン
I was gonna let you be surprised, but
と音色
not
を
that
立てて
surprised. Yeah.
落としてなくした自分を求めて
Sena's gonna know. Sena's gonna know. It's totally fine. No, I think he'll be grateful. I don't think he's gonna be upsetty. So no apologies needed, Green Yoshi.
血
Totally
の
fine.
色に満ちた校舎の中をいつ果てるともなくさまよい歩く刀を携えた殺人鬼カラカラさんの話を
Kara kara. Wait a minute. Oh. Kara kara.
そうこの成見ヶ浜高校に古くから伝わる有名な七不思議校舎のすべての窓に夕日が差す黄昏時女子生徒が一人で校舎に残っているとどこからか聞こえてくるんだってカラカラカラカラカラカラと刀を引きずりながらさまよい歩く音が
Yeah, what has the skipping? Jump? Yeah. Jump! Alright. Why?
もしも一度でも振り向いてしまったら
Warp! We haven't played the game. Oh, we haven't watched the opening in a while. Let me turn the music down so it's not loading in y'all's ears. Let me know if that's like okay level. Not talking. Just listening. Woohoo! Okay. There we go. Ta-ta. Alright, now back to the good part. Jump! Okay, still Lolli. Still me. Alright. Jump! Alright. What are we gonna do? right. Okay, so we've done all these now at some point. So we're going to check out some materials in the library. That's how we're going to find this boyfriend. Because he's smart. Maybe. I don't know. He at least went to this school. We do know that. Maybe something here could spark my interest or guide me in where I'm supposed to go. I went to the library to look for information on various colleges and careers. There were school and company pamphlets everywhere. Jump! Schools for squares. Schools for fools. That's what That's what's up. Just kidding. School, there is value in school. Not school for the sake of school, though. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. This is still the same Ishiki. So we've said this one before. All right. Warp. All right. Did y'all have a good Thursday? As a side note, mine was okay. Let me think about that. I think it was okay. It was just kind of a day, man. Yeah. Okay, so this is our first meeting of him at the playground. Yeah. Karate and therapy. Oh, I love that for you. Yay. I just had work. What happened for me? I had a pretty, similar to Green Yoshi. I had a boring day at work, I think. Like, I just don't, like, it was neither, like, amazing or, like, bad. It was just kind of like, this is fine. Which is, I would still put it on the more of a good spectrum. Boring is good. So, I think there was, like, maybe one thing that was just kind of like, oh, actually, I think I mentioned that there's a group that I work with that their company just experienced a bunch of like layoffs, and so anyways, thankfully none of the people that we work directly with were affected, so I was very glad for them. Although I'm sure that still is very worrisome for them, you know. Yeah, so yeah, we just gave our support, and it was just like, let us know what you need, even if it's just to set expectations on our side, you know, that it's just like, hey, you know, normal response time is 24 hours, but sounds like there's a lot of stuff happening, so like maybe expect like 48 to 72 more like, or something like that, you know. And so I gave them the option. So yeah, so yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where they're all like, luckily, like I said, none of the people that we work with are affected. If they were, though, I think it would be very much a loss for their company, and I would have no doubt that they would do really well elsewhere. And so I would definitely put in a reference for them for sure. So, all right, fate, you say? What you say? All right. Jump. All right, so far, this is all stuff we've seen before, mainly through Koyo's route, so monster energy. Ooh, okay. Is all Sayaka's fault? Has nothing to do with Sayaka. Okay. Also, an option we have read before. So again, this is mirroring the Koyo route almost entirely so far, which is fine. Fine. Yeah. But man, actually, one last rant. There's like, I feel like there's a couple of like clients that are just bad listeners. It's just kind of like, hey, you know, they're just like, we want to make sure to do this, and you know, we don't want any, you know, we want it to go smoothly. And I was like, cool, that's what we want too. Actually, if you want it to go smoothly, you could do this. Like, not even like you could do this. It's like, if you do this, it will go smoothly. And they're just like, nah. It's like, okay, I'm not your dad, so that's fine. You don't have to do it the right way, but you need to not be surprised when you get charged later because we have to do extra work that we didn't have to do. So it's goofy. All right. Let's see. But that would require respecting other people's input. I guess it's one of those things where it's like, it's like, we don't. I feel like I don't feel like, even though I'm in a technical role, I do feel like I try and make, the things I'm saying pretty palatable. But I do feel like sometimes people don't like it when it's not their own idea. Yeah. People are silly. You're right. People are silly. Exactly. Silly people. Yeah, they're too stuck in their own heads. Exactly. All right, can I try holding it? She's talking about the career survey. Yeah, okay, which, again, we've done this. Let's get to the new stuff. All right, I think this is probably... I should go look for some clues. I should go to my class. The place where I had my accident, I should go to my class. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we're gonna do that first. I should go to my class. Because I don't know that I'm dead yet. Let me know if the sound is okay. Too loud, too quiet, just right. Alright, we've done... I don't know that we've done this. I saw this place in my vision, too. I walked to my classroom. I checked the clock and saw that it was lunchtime. I couldn't see Sayaka and figured that she must be in the cafeteria. Awesome. Thank you so much, Green Yoshi.
ねえ、一色さんなんだけど、事故現場に佇む姿が目撃されたとか。
That's right. This is the playthrough where I got hit by I got truck-cooned. But somebody pushed me, we think. At least in the other playthrough, I got pushed. Got pushed. So, yes. Was there a ghost sighting of me there today? That's right, isekai'd. But I was just in a coma. I wasn't dead. So that's how. And same thing with Monster Energy boyfriendo. He was not dead either. I wasn't really happy to hear that. It seemed my accident was still a big topic of conversation, and the room buzzed with rumors. In the midst of all those rumors, I strolled between the rows of desks, looking for something to help jog my memory. Actually, did y'all ever see, there's a TV show called The IT Crowd. It's a British comedy. It's on Netflix. Very, very funny. They have an episode where one of the characters, everybody thinks that she died. And there's just like a happenstance of things. So she's not dead. But it turns out there's a guy who starts like lying and is just like, I was the last person with her, and it's not true. It was a bad, she went on a date with this person. It was a bad date. And then, but then he's like making up all these stories. So it's, stop telling people I'm dead. Yeah. So it is a wildly funny episode. So what is this, Dear Evan Hansen shenanigans? I don't know. I haven't watched that show. I'm talking IT Crowd. But there doesn't seem to be anything here. Plus, hearing all this gossip about me is really starting to get to me. I should leave. Disgusted by the baseless rumors, I resolved to leave the classroom when a strange sound entered my ears.
はい、じゃあ今日も続きやっていきますよ。サイレントブラッド。多分今日エンディングまでいけるんじゃないかな。
That voice, those mannerisms. Where? I searched all around the room for the source of the voice. Then, I spied some girls in the corner of the classroom watching something on a smartphone. That's right, they're watching the guy. Monster Energy, Koyo. Jump! I think we have done that one before. All right. Now we go to the place where I had my accident. I'm pretty sure we did this one too. I guess we'll know if it lets us jump. It did! Alright. Of the two of them, the one related to my accident was Sayaka. Okay. Like I said, we're probably going to get to like chapter 3, because that's what happened in the last playthrough for Hibiki. Like we weren't even in new territory till chapter 3. Which is totally fine. Alright. Sayaka? Sayaka? Ooh, insanity up. Alright. Still, I have to try and deflect, right? Who's our husband? Carrie, it's the pop idol, the boy gazing at the stars. We saw him in one of the other playthroughs. He was working towards being a pop idol. He was a good singer. So, Dear Evan Hansen is a musical about a socially anxious student who is mistakenly thought to have been best friends with another student that committed suicide. Oh, I didn't realize that. Yeah. Also, you told your mom you're on estrogen and she's decided it's for your thyroid and not being trans. Oh, I see. Oh, well, Carrie, like you told her and she is just la 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 fingers in her ear, or she just doesn't understand. Either way, I'm sorry if that didn't go the way that you would have liked, but you know, I'm good for you. Keep on your path. It is your path. So, and hopefully with time she will, you know, come around. Yeah. Yeah, yes, exactly. Good luck with your estrogen. Yeah. Yeah, probably doesn't understand. Okay, the important part, she's not going to flip about seeing birth control in the counter. Yeah, fair enough, hopefully. Yeah. Well, I think at least, you know, the not understanding part, I mean, that's, you know, I think that's an okay canvas to work with, you know? So, surrounded by parents is going... Oh, sorry. Surrounded by perverts is going to be your parents. So, surrounded by parents. Not what I meant, but that's... Well, you know, I mean, if it works, I guess. Yes, surrounded by parents here. Oh, well, I mean, we are your surrogate family if you will have us, so, yeah. So, yeah, surrounded by mothers, yeah. Well, like I said, I hope in time that she comes around and, you know, and I am glad at least it's, you know, even if it's not the ideal reaction, it's at least a neutral enough reaction that it's like, okay, not somebody who's going to like be, you know, making things extra difficult for you, right? Yeah, so hopefully that maintains. So, yeah. Wow, what a slip. That's so funny. Yeah. Neutral enough to not be a pressing threat to your safety. Exactly. And that's what we would want for you is like, you know, to be in the safest situation you can. Yeah, exactly. Hope she comes around. And like I said, we're your, you know, like we're here for you. So if there's days when it's just like she just don't understand, you just come in and be like, parents, am I right? Sheesh. Yeah. Jump. The carousel family. All right. I think this version's great too. Okay. So far still the same. Your mom is very whatever makes you happy and doesn't hurt anyone else. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I love that yeah, I'm happy to hear that. I feel like, let me think about this. I feel like my parents would I think my dad, I think he would be on team, like, I don't really understand all of it, but, like, you know, I think my dad would be on board with, like, you know, I want you to be, like, you are who you are, and I think that would be fine. Maybe, but like I said, I think he would just not really kind of understand all of it, though, you know? So, yeah. Yeah, she'd never kick you out for that. Stepdad might, but you don't share shit with him. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with us, you know. As long as you have at least one person in place, yeah. You take back the L, yeah. Alright, jump. Alright, and then we're gonna meet Koyo. And then... yeah, give the L to the stepdad, yeah. Like, Mom was just holding it to, like, give to stepdad. Yeah. Yeah. Koyo is very kind. Great. Skip. Also, very funny series of words, no matter what. You have your ex-fiance's family if you need, so they love you. Aw, yay. That's nice. Yes. Okay. All right, now we're on chapter 3. See, we have done exact playthrough so far of Koyo's route, but now we're on chapter 3. I think this is where our branching path should be. All right, yeah. Try to envision what happened. Okay, we did that. Skip. Okay. Let's see. Try to envision what happened. My charm. Nya, nya, nya. Skip. Ew. Bury my face in his chest. I mean, some things never change, I guess. Look how cute he is, though. Wow. Skip. Great. All right, first thing that came to my mind is Sayaka. I don't know. What if we get to chapter 4, maybe? Just dive straight into those puppies. A little bit of... Don't worry so much. Yeah, it just takes us to the good ending. Yeah, let's skip through the silly parts, shall we? It's too bad. I feel like some games do a really good job of, like, not having so much, like, overlap. But I guess with a game like this, it's 9 playthroughs, so I get where they're just kind of like, okay, look, we gotta repurpose some of this, okay? It's like, all right, we are going to head to the let's go to the mall today. Come on, Jessica. Come on, Tori. Let's go to the mall. You won't be sorry. That's all right. Branching path. That's right, Robin Sparkles. I decided to head inside the shopping mall near the station. It wasn't as though I could do any shopping, but I figured the cheery atmosphere would help cheer me up as well. Oh, is that? Sena? What are you doing here?
そこだと目立つからこっちこっち。
We're just gonna sing that every time the mall shows up here, haha. Yeah, yeah. I think there are certain key words that trigger, you know, that trigger things. I think that's fair. Right. He beckoned me toward him with his hands, and I ducked into the shadows alongside him. I feel like I know where this is going. Hiding from the fans again?
すごい。よくわかったね。
It's the only explanation for why we'd be hiding like this. Plus, I've been around Sena long enough to know this is the normal pattern.
付き合わせちゃってごめんね。あそこにいる女の子たちが僕の話をしていてさ。
He used his finger to point to 3 girls who were chatting and giggling away.
ファンでいてくれる子を見かけると隠れないといけないのはあるけど、すっごく嬉しいんだ。
His face lit as he stared over at the girls. It is not just the girls who seem giddy. Sena's over the moon too. Yeah, for example, 1,000 stars triggers surrounded by perverts in my brain. Now, yeah, that's true. I have to slow it down sometimes. It's like, thank you for the stars. And then insert name. No. But yeah, your name does come up a lot with the stars. It's so funny when I saw, for example, 1,000. I just went. I had my own trigger, a trigger on the trigger, Inception trigger. So it's nothing important really, but would you mind chatting with me?
すごくいいアイディアだね。もちろん喜んで。
Thanks. So, let's talk about idols, man. He loves it. It's like, this is my jam. I could tell you all the things. Sena, are you as bright and lively when you do TV too? What is it?
いやー、ファンじゃないんだなと思って。
I'm sorry. I basically just told him that I never watched him do a TV spot before.
謝らないでよ。君に興味を持たれたのかなって嬉しいんだから。
I knew he was merely saying that to cover up the awkward situation, but I still felt bad. Yeah, bright and lively to the dead boy. Too soon? Too soon?
テレビの時っていうか、アイドルとしての顔はあるよ。ちゃんと考えてから話しなさいって事務所の社長から言われてた。
Why's
見た目
that?
とのギャップが出すぎるみたいなんだよね。アホっぽく見えるとか。
I like when idols can be a little bit silly, honestly. I think that that's a charm point, but that's also because I am a fan of silly, so...
そんなことないと思うんだけどな。僕、こう見えて大人な一面もあって、ミステリアスでクールだから。
Cool and mature. Dark and mysterious. Nope. Silly Billy. Gap Moe is a hoax.
ねえ、そう思わない？
Yeah, totally.
ちょっと、なんでそこで目をそらすの？
After that, Sena went on listing all the ways he was very cool and mysterious. So mysterious. The most mysterious. And humble. The humblest person I know. As the sun began to set, I headed for the park in hopes of running into Sayaka and Tonodomaru. That's our cultist friend and her dog. She's not a cultist. She's just into the occult. Our occultist friend. I hear he's a really good kisser. I still couldn't remember everything. Koyo's story helped me understand what happened, but it still wasn't my own memory. At least I knew for certain Sayaka had nothing to do with the accident. Oh, can I pause real quick? Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all some shit that happened to me. Last night, I had a lot of trouble sleeping because some mosquito got really fat off of me. It bit my arms, it bit my legs, and then rudely, it bit my forehead. So this morning, I couldn't be on camera because I had this big old lump on my forehead. stupid mosquito. So that's what happened. So I know. It was really bad. I put cream on it and everything, and I hope I find it tonight. I hope it lands on me and I murder it. I hope I have its blood and my blood all over me tonight. Just a vendetta against mosquitoes. That is the button I would press. It's like the murder all blanks. Yes, murder all mosquitoes. Good. Bye. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. Thank you for the good luck. I'll take it. I'll take it. How much money to update the model with a mosquito bite bump? No. Never. Let Lolli be pristine. Let her be safe somewhere. If not in her own home, at least in the virtual world. You could do that for like $10. Murder all mosquitoes for $10? Yeah. You mentioned that, but like the spoon was like all the way downstairs and the cream was like in the bathroom, which was next door. So I just put the cream. But that's also because I like the cream. I think I mentioned, I swear by this cream. It is a cream that I got in Japan when I got bit by mosquitoes in Japan. So, and that one was a rude one because it bit me on my eyelid. So my eye was puffy. I could not open it for more than half the day. So, nah, put a big old mosquito bite on your forehead. Yeah, no, it was a big deal because like I didn't know. I went to a pharmacy. Like I thought that this like the equivalent of like a CVS, but it wasn't. It was like where people go to get their actual like medicine with their prescriptions. And so I had to do this whole charades thing, and I was like, no, mosquito, and I like did the motion because my Japanese was very non-existent at the time. But like I knew bits and pieces, but not as much as I practice now. Anyways, but I did the motion and I showed and anyways, I told the lady that, and she looked at me. She go, "Just a mosquito," because I look like I got punched. I was like, I promise. I know it looks way worse. I mean, even though mosquito bites get really big on me and they're itchy and like they definitely look worse than they actually are. And I don't know if that's just because I'm used to it now, but I know that anytime anybody has ever seen it that is not aware of like what my mosquito bites look like, I've definitely had like shock value. People are just like, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" And it's like, yeah, they just look bad. It's no fun. I don't like it, but they're still itchy as heck. But yeah, that cream was it. Mo Pico S. Lavender, mint, and rosemary are good for repelling mosquitoes. Allegedly. I've also heard citronella, which a lot of like mosquito, like anti-mosquito candles are made with citronella oil, and lemongrass is also something I've been told, but I have not. Like, I don't think that has been effective enough for me. But maybe I need to up the combo wombo. But there's lavender, mint, and rosemary in my backyard, and they're still there. So, yeah. Catnip, too? I mean, Moby would be super into catnip. You know what? My other cat, 1010, she didn't care about catnip for a very long time. Like, I just didn't even bother at a certain point. And so, like, she went, like, over a decade with like just no access to catnip. And then one day I was just kind of like, like I was watching somebody else's cat too, and their cat liked catnip, and then I guess my cat was like, peer pressured into trying it, and like I've never seen her so relaxed. I was just like, oh my gosh. Honestly, the only thing you've ever found that works 100% for repellent is wood smoke. Interesting. I mean, the only thing I've found is DEET, and I don't like that on my skin, honestly. I've been clean for a decade. And no, she's just never cared about it, but yeah. Boy, yeah. So I was just kind of like, okay, well, you know, maybe then when she was an old lady, she needed it for her glaucoma or something. Her kitty glaucoma. So. All right. Allegedly, our friend had nothing to do with our murder. But she did. No, she didn't have anything to do with her murder. But she did wish that we would do the thing that she wants. All right. Ooh, okay, branching path. Last time we said it's possible. It's possible, but now we're going to say no way. No way. No way. No way. I don't buy it. That's not what I meant. All right. It must be a rumor she found on the internet. No way this could actually kill someone. I huffed and gently placed my hand near Sayaka's back. I knew I couldn't touch her, but I wanted to offer her some comfort. This isn't your fault, Sayaka. You hear me? So like I said, we've got to stay positive. I still don't know the whole story of what happened that day. The supernatural element, that voice, that was the root of all of this. The supernatural nature of the event would suggest Sayaka's spell was somehow involved, but I heard that voice before Sayaka could have cast the spell, so the two can't be related.
ごめんなさい。私のせいであの子が。
謝る必要なんてないって。
翼ちゃん？
さやかには悪いけど、私はこういうの信じてないから。
That's right, our big sister is like, you know, the voice of reason and also just being kind of a big sister to Sayaka right now too. She's like, girl, it ain't you. My sister spoke so brazenly, it forced Sayaka to stop crying and stare back at her in a daze. My sister only looked back at Sayaka with her usual smirk. Oh, look how cute our sister is on the left. Aw.
例えば、さやかのせいだっていうやつがいたら、ふざけんなバカ野郎って怒鳴りつけてやるね。
Fuzakin! The smirk feels like it's mocking you. That's because it is. That's what a smirk. That's the job of a smirk.
だからさやかも。
My sister brought her face closer to Sayaka's.
いい加減にしなよ。
That's the face my sister uses when she's really upset. My sister unclenched her jaw and stared back at Sayaka with warm, familiar eyes.
なあ、気に病む時間よりも、あの子のために何ができるか考えよう。
Sayaka nodded slowly and took out a handkerchief to wipe away her tears. Then she put her torn up pieces of paper away in her bag.
私ね、今やっていることがあるの。うまくいけば、あの子を救える。
Huh? What is she talking about?
待て待て、あんたまた怪しげなもんに手を出そうとしてるんじゃ。
It's a ChatGPT spell.
大丈夫。これは私がやらないといけないことだから。
待てってば。ったく、私の妹たちはどうしてこう世話を焼かせる。
My sister quickly stood up after Sayaka paid the bill and then went to chase after her. All I could do was watch the scene unfold with total dismay. Save me? Seriously, Sayaka? Sayaka always tended to lose sight of reality, especially if there was something she was really focused on. But save me from death? She wants to bring me back to life? Tsubasa, man, I'm never having daughters. I already have daughters is really what that means. That simply wasn't possible. When someone dies, that's the end. And yet, had Sayaka told me she wanted to raise someone from the dead before, I would have laughed it off. But knowing what I know now, the strange supernatural activity, the world of the dead, perhaps this world was far more mysterious than I once thought. What's that? Atop the table, there lay a single ripped up piece of paper. Sayaka must have forgotten it. But when the cafe staff came to clean up the table, they left the paper right where it was. Could it be? I reached out my hand, and to my disbelief, I was able to touch it. Guess there was a piece here, too. I took the piece of paper and placed it next to the others, and it fits. Looks like I've only got a little left. But I'm not having a vision or gaining any new memories. Every other time I picked up a piece of paper, I was able to see a new memory. I always assumed the memory would appear on the spot. I tried various things to get the vision to appear, but nothing worked. If not here, then where? Just what was Sayaka up to? And where were my other memories? I had a sinking feeling it would be quite some time before I could free myself of regrets and cross over. Chapter 4. I'll start seeing the visions if I get a few more lumps with this hammer. Maybe. After that, I tried taking the career survey to a variety of places to try and get the visions to occur, but they simply wouldn't. How many places have I been to already? With no progress, I felt my heart breaking. Staring at the printout in my hand, I tried to think of how to conjure a memory from that day. The front of the Tsukumo shrine seemed the most likely place. I'd gone there, but saw nothing. I thought it would be the memory of being hit by a car. I had learned about the incident from Koyo, but I still couldn't remember it happening. It wasn't that I didn't believe him, but I wanted to experience the memory for myself. If I can't remember that moment, what's the point of any of this?
あれ
Look at him. Oh my gosh. He's so cute. Look at that cool coat, by the way. I turned to face the voice that called out to me and found Sena standing there.
こんな時間まで何やってるのまだ制服のままだし。まさか、あれから一度も家に帰ってないの
He spoke in a nervous and worried tone. Time to make him end his career for us? No, no. Time for us to ride his coattails and also become idols. I turned to look at the clock in the shopping mall and saw it was already 9 p.m. Ooh, it's almost 9 p.m. here. My time. That's funny. From his perspective, I got sick in the afternoon and still haven't returned home. It made sense that he was worried. I have something I have to do, so I just stopped by here real quick. Of course, I'll head home right after this. Try as I might to calm him down, Sena's questioning continued.
じゃあ、制服なのはどうして
I went home and fell asleep. Then I woke up and remembered the thing I had to do and came here. Sena looked at me suspiciously.
もう用事は終わった
Yep, just wrapped up. Heading home now. Is he buying this? Sena let out a loud sigh.
じゃあ、もう帰った方がいいよ。僕が家まで送るね。
Thank you. Wait, what? You want to take me home?
だって心配だもん。こんな時間に女の子一人で帰らせられないよ。
I understood what Sena was saying, and I was genuinely grateful for his concern. But I didn't have to worry about any of that now. I'm a ghost after all, though I can't say that to him now. Maybe I can just flash him a smile and get him to calm down? My house is nearby, so don't worry about it.
ダメ。昼間もそうだけど、ここで会ったのも何かの縁だしね。さ、行こう行こう。
Wait a minute. He took my hand and began pulling me in the direction of the exit. I had no choice but to follow him. We left the mall and walked for some time before reaching my house. It's okay now. We really are close. I stopped and pulled my hand away from Sena's. I'll be okay from here. My house is in this neighborhood, so... I was hoping to get isekai to a fantasy land. Instead I lost physical form. But I can still hold hands with other ghosts, so it's totally fine. Totomate, I'm gonna get a sip of water. A gulp of water. Yum. What
さ
is
っ
it?
きすぐそこって言っていたけど、結構歩いたよね。
Well, yeah, that's...
まあいくら僕が有名人だからって今日会ったばかりの人間に家を知られたくないよね。
A hearty swig of water from the mug, yes.
君を送っている間に考えたんだ。僕こそ不審者だなって。
He wore an apologetic smile as he let go of my hand.
ごめん。不安だったよね。ただ、君が心配ってだけだったんだ。
It's
それは信じてほしい。
totally fine. Totally fine. Demand another. Of course I understand. I never once thought you were acting weird. I know that you're a good person, Sena. For Sena, each and every day we met was the first time. And yet he was always so sweet to me. I know you were just worried about me, from the bottom of your heart.
君はどうしてそこまで僕を
Because... What chapter are we on? Oh no! Idols? No way. Okay, we must be on chapter 4. Actually... It's not here! Uh-oh! Wait, you helped me this afternoon? Oh! Oh, okay, okay. I was lost in the guide. Okay, you helped me this afternoon. There we go. Branching path. I want to tell him that he's always helping me, but he wouldn't understand that. I had to express to him how much he'd helped me in the words he would understand. You helped me this afternoon, right?
あれは当たり前のことをしただけだよ。
Well, it meant a lot to me. It made me think you're a very kind person with a very warm heart. I still think that. Sena raised his eyebrows in surprise. Ah, guess that might be a bit too much.
そうじゃなくて、ほら、僕が君に一目惚れしたって、そう言ったら全否定されたからさ、特別に思ってくれていたなんて意外だったんだ。
Yeah, about that.
でも、そっか。特別か。これは脈ありかもね。
Oh, this sweet boy. Bless his heart. I think I might have given him the wrong idea. But I guess Sena really does believe he fell in love at first sight with me. Aw. I mean, I don't mind it. If I still had a heart. Just thinking about it made me embarrassed.
困ってるね。
I'm sorry.
君には迷惑かもしれないけど、僕は考えずにいられないんだ。
Oh, you think he's moving too fast surrounded by perverts? To fall in love at first sight? He's love bombing me?
君と僕の間には何かあるんじゃないかって。
He wasn't totally wrong about that, and I wanted to know why he felt that way. And what makes you say that?
それがね、僕にもわからないんだ。
We have not gone through the formal courting processes. I hear that. Not like all of these playthroughs, we have not gone through a formal courting process. But, yeah, maybe the order of operations is a little off here.
でも恋心って言葉ではうまく説明できないものだから。
I've just never felt this way about anybody else. As he spoke, Sena outstretched his arm toward me. He gently touched my hair, and I felt my heart beat feverishly. That's a little ticklish. I spoke hesitantly, but Sena merely continued to smile.
笑顔もいいけど、そうやって照れる姿も可愛い。
It was the first time a man had ever said something like that to me, and I had no idea how to respond. Sena, I think you've got the wrong idea.
あ、また否定する。そういう風に言われるとショックだな。とはいえ、これ以上はダメだよね。
When he took his hand away, I felt a sense of relief.
そんなあからさまにほっとした顔しないでよ。
Oh. Well, what did you expect? I was so nervous. How am I supposed to act?
その緊張っていい意味でかな。
Oh, look at his face. I'm done with this conversation.
あ、ごめん。お願いだから許して。
Seeing him beg for forgiveness like this, I decided to tease him. Maybe you're just projecting based on stories about idols taking advantage of parasocial fans. I feel like... I feel like I hear quite the opposite very often, you know? But I'm not saying that there probably isn't something like that out there. You know, I'm sure it's definitely a non-zero amount that definitely exploit that, but I feel like there's just a lot of idols who are just like, I don't want any, you know, not I don't want anything to do with fans, but like, you know, the parasocial ones. We talked about it yesterday. It's called Seisang. That's like, you know, basically like stalker fanatic. And I can understand sometimes it's, you know, probably very scary. So, and I think that there would also be a like fear of like, you know, kind of what we talked about in other like streams, being liked for somebody that's not fully you, because he mentions it in this playthrough already. He's just like, oh, you know, TV, like that's when I put my idol mask on, and I imagine that's probably a very big dilemma for folks. Yeah, I'll forgive you, but in exchange, you have to promise to remember me. As expected, he stared back at me, dumbfounded.
そんなことでいいの？僕が君を忘れるなんてありえないのに？
But we've been on 50 first dates. His words made my heart ache. If only that were true. Well then, if it really is love at first sight, you won't forget me. I didn't know why I said the words, but I hoped somehow that they might make a difference. Perhaps if he remembered me, even a little, I could use his love at first sight to help. Why did you just hear a rocket boom? Oh no, hope everything's safe where you're at. Tomorrow is National Mochi Day. So somebody's just celebrating mochi.
忘れないよ。約束。
He held out his pinky for a pinky promise. Please, Sena, please don't forgive me. I had no idea if that would help him cross over, but I didn't want him to forget me anymore. Until we meet again, then. With that, I left him. When Lolli and I went our separate ways, I headed to the beach. She said something so strange. Of course there's no way I'd forget her. I could use this love at first sight to help. Makes it sound like love at first is the name of an I-beam superpower. Love at the first sight, though! Pew, pew, pew! Like that? Yeah. She said something so strange. Of course there's no way I'd forget her. And yet, when she spoke those words to me, her eyes were so serious, so earnest.
セナ、
こうよ。約束してないのに会うなんて奇遇。
どうしてここにいる？
今日はオフだったから、久しぶりに地元に帰ってきてたんだ。連絡もせずに帰ってきてるから、拗ねてるんでしょう。
I spoke to him jokingly, but Koyo didn't seem to respond to it.
いつも芝生広場にいるのに。
それは学生の時でしょ。
Dude, it's not your route, go home. No, there's plenty of room. We can always change our mind. Just kidding. Something about this felt off. There was something wrong with him. He never acted like this.
今日何やってた？
運命の人に会ったよ。
は？
それがね、ある女の子を助けて。よかった。意識が戻ったみたいだね。今急いで病院に連れて行くから。病院に連れて？
病院って何？
Koyo bolted toward me, grabbing me by the shoulder. But what surprised me more...
僕は彼女は病院に。
That seemed very strange.
彼女？誰？
女の子が。
その子と病院に行ったの？
No. No, wait a minute.
違う。僕が介抱してあげて。多分。それで彼女の体調が良くなった。
Yes, that's what Lolli said. Did she mention the hospital? Something's strange. Something's very strange.
なんか、今日の僕おかしいかも。昼間にも知らない映像が見えたりしてさ。疲れてるのかな？
あいつの存在が影響させてる。
I forgot. He's so cute.
え？何？
なんでもない。今話しても忘れるからいい。
忘れるって？何言って？
Well then, if it really is love at first sight, you won't forget me. What were the two of them talking about? They were acting like I forget everything. My heart feels like it's going to burst. I really don't feel good. No. 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 There's something very weird going on with me today. Was it just today? I don't remember seeing those images I saw this afternoon. Was that today? I can't remember. Oh, our poor distressed baby. Distressed baby. So sorry, so sorry. Ghost didn't get tired. I knew that, but after all that had happened that day, I felt emotionally drained. Groggy, I finally reached the nurse's office. As I did, Yui came rushing up to me.
こんな遅くまで帰ってこないから心配したじゃない。
Yeah, poor Bebe. I was surprised to see her speak so forcefully to me. She was worried about me? Knowing that I had a place to go home to and someone to worry about me, it filled my heart with warmth. Sorry, I didn't mean to make you worry. There's just a lot I wanted to look into. After sighing with relief, I told Yui about all the things I'd found out that day. When I finished, she looked as happy as though she had been the one to make all this progress in crossing over.
生前おかしな声が聞こえていたというのが気にかかるわね。
That's true, but the fact that I can't remember my death seems odd as well. Either way, it all seems very mysterious.
ええ、普通ではないと思う。
Hearing her say it so bluntly made me realize just how strange it all was. Koya was surprised I couldn't remember my death too.
そのおかしな声、闇へ誘うものだけれど、一概に悪いとは思えないのよね。
I wonder. I think that invitation into the darkness is what caused me to die.
そうなのだけれど、闇へ誘うものがあなたに告げた内容はすべて悪い意味のようには思えないの。だって困難は降りかかるけれど、前を向いていれば大丈夫ってそうも言っていたのよね。
Yeah, I suppose so. That's true. The voice did say that. Up until this point, I had been focused solely on the identity of the voice itself. For now, I've decided it's best to just try and gather up the pieces of the printout and restore my memory. Once I do that, I'll know who invited me into the darkness and what their words meant.
ええ、そうね。考えているだけでは答えは出ないのだし。
Right. I've got to do my best so I can cross over. I spoke with determination, but somewhere in the back of my mind, I thought of him. Sena isn't able to think about things like this. It made sense that Koyo felt the way he did about Sena too. As I got to know the two of them, I had trouble thinking of Sena's problems as somehow separate from my own.
あなたを見ていると、私も勇気が湧いてくるわ。頑張らないとって思わされる。
Yui, have you thought about crossing over? Until that point, I realized I hadn't asked very many questions about her. Actually, it wasn't just her. The lingering regrets of the dead was surely a sensitive topic. It wouldn't be right to go around asking just anyone about them.
私はあまり思わない。いえ、自分のことは考えていないの。やらなければならないことがあって、それがうまく運べばそれでいいから。
Oh, now you're finally curious about other people, yeah. I mean, in all fairness, I'm new. I'm new to the dead.
けれど、臆病者の私はそれから逃げていて。
I'm curious if, like, the finale, once I do all the playthroughs and get the good ending, a secret, like, true ending unlocks. And so I wonder if I set everybody free all at once. She always struck me as rather dignified.
でも、あなたと関わるようになって頑張る姿を見ていたらいつまでも閉じこもっていられない。他の幽霊と接することが苦手だったけれど、そろそろ外へ出ないとね。
I didn't know all the details, but if she was doing her best to move forward now, if there's anything I can do to help, don't hesitate to lean on me.
ありがとう。あなたもいつでも私を頼ってね。
Yeah, I hope we can let Yui cross over. Surely we haven't seen her cross over in any of our playthroughs, so I bet the secret finale ending does something for her, hopefully. Or maybe she's the love interest at the... I don't know. Kind of throw this genre on its head a little bit. The two of us smiled at each other.
とりあえず休んだ方がいいわ。今日はもう考えるのをやめなさい。
You say that, but I just end up thinking even if I don't want to. Yui made a troubled face and then turned to look at me with a smile.
それならおしゃべりしましょうか。外のことを教えてくれる？今の流行などをね。
I found her suggestion to be very charming, and I felt my heart leap. And so the two of us chatted until morning. Hi, Mochi. Hello, my sweetie girl. 1 second. Mochi, push the door open. So I'm gonna give her a blueberry. You want a little blueberry, Mochi? You want a little blueberry? Come here. Okay. Blueberry for you, Berry. I love you. Thank you. Mochi's diet is going good. Yeah. Mochi's, yeah. She has fully transitioned over to the new food. And it's got her supplement, like nutrients in it. So she should be getting everything that she needs, allegedly, with this formulation. So hopefully the trend keeps going. But yeah, very good, very good. She's got, let's see. I mean, as far as TMI, she's got, like, you know, solider poops than before. So that's good. She hasn't thrown up. That's great. Her energy level is pretty similar. So no lethargy. So that's fantastic news. So I'm happy. I'm happy with that. I did change up my my appointment for her. It was supposed to be like later towards the end of the month, like on the 20th, but I was able to shift it up by like 6 days. So we have an appointment next week with the vet to see if this is looking better. It might be a little too soon to see, but hopefully not. I was a little worried, but yeah. Queen Yoshi, I'm so happy seeing you use that that new emoji that Nocturnal Muse made. It's pretty awesome. It was really cool. Like, so I won this. It was like a prize, and so I sent a picture of my my avatar, and it was so funny because she messaged me and she's like, "Hey," she's like, "What?" She's like, "Here's what it looks like right now," and like, so the crown was like cut off. She's like, "The size of your stuff, like, the crown will either not be visible, or if I shift it all down, then your feet won't be visible. Like, are you okay with either of these options?" And I was like, "Oh, actually, like, any way we could have the crown like kind of on the side of the head, like it's a bow or something." And she was just like, "Oh, that's a good idea." And so now we got it. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. So Nocturnal Muse, I'll be sure to put it in the credits later. So I forgot to update my thing, but yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't know how to make like animated things like that, so it's fun. In the morning, after spending the night talking with Yui, I decided to go out for a bit. My aim, of course, was to try and unlock the memories contained in the career survey sheet. As I passed the school gate, thinking about where I should go first, I spied Koyo walking up to me. Good morning, Koyo.
今日は機嫌良さそうじゃん。
I took some time to relax, that's why.
そっか。それならよかった。
He smiled back at me before his face turned gravely serious.
あんたに話があってきたんだ。今少しいい？
Yeah, is it too late to make this my route? How about a combo route? 2 boyfriends at one time. Well, because we kind of got like a selfie with 2 other boyfriendos in the other playthrough, so. Sure, what's up?
セナのこと。昨日、あいつと病院に行った。
We can all hold hands. How did Koyo hear about that? Did Sena tell him last night? No, we didn't end up going. Before we could reach it, Sena's memory was, how should I put it, erased? When I told Koyo about yesterday, he looked back at me with surprise. Something about that made my heart beat faster. I decided to ask him about something that was bothering me. Did something happen to Sena? Koyo stayed silent, but his face told me he was debating whether or not to tell me something. He's probably going to tell me not to get involved with this. I figured he'd tell me that I have my own issues to focus on instead. Please just tell me, Koyo. I want to help Sena too. Still, Koyo remained silent. Koyo? After a while, he sighed, as though he'd given up.
あんたと関わることでセナに変化があった。あんたに関する記憶だけが完全にリセットされてないみたいで覚えてるっぽいんだよね。
Really?
うん。ただ、あいつ自身も混乱してる。
My initial feelings of joy were complicated by the news that it was causing him to be confused. The power of love. I wondered if I was doing more harm than good to Sena. Why is it that he only remembers the memories with me?
俺なりに考えたんだけど、まずセナが生きている頃の健康な状態の日を繰り返してるっていうのは覚えてるよな。
Right. He keeps resetting back to before he found out about his illness.
そう。だからあいつは大体において決まった行動をとってるし、毎日会う幽霊は俺だけ。俺より先にあいつは死んでるから、俺は途中からあいつのルーティンに加わったわけだけど、俺に会うことはあいつにとって何も違和感はない。生前からの友達だし、この成見ヶ浜は俺たちの地元だから。でもあんたは違う。
I see. I began to get the gist of what Koyo was saying.
多分俺以外の幽霊で毎日セナと顔を合わせているのはあんたくらい。
That was true. I had seen Sena every day since I became a ghost.
そしてセナの生前にあんたはいない。つまりあんたはイレギュラーな存在。
We're not like the other girls. We're dead. That made sense. I was someone who wouldn't have been there in Sena's healthy days, but now he was seeing me every day. So I'm causing him this confusion. If his memory can't totally reset, then I'm going to ruin his happy routine. Koyo shook his head.
その幸せは偽りでしかない。あんたはもしかしたらセナに現実を見せられるかもしれない。リセットがされなくなることで身の回りの変化に気づき、いずれは死んだと認識させられるかも。
If that happened, he might be able to face his lasting regrets. And perhaps he could cross over. So in that case, you want me to keep meeting with Sena, right? If I could help him change, then perhaps there was hope for him after all. Yet Koyo's face remained still.
あんたにはあんたのやるべきことがあるのに。ごめん。気が向いた時でいいから、あいつに会いに行ってほしい。
When he finished speaking, Koyo bowed deeply and with rare sincerity. In response, I said, "Leave it to me! Leave it to me!" After hearing that, Koyo raised his head slowly. The expression on his face was deeply apologetic. You don't have to look so sorry. I've grown to care about Sena too.
悪い。本当にごめん。
You don't have to apologize. It's really okay. Feels kind of like there's nothing I can say now. If I said anything else, I felt like it would only make him feel more guilty. Well, I'm off to go and try to find Sena. I spoke with a bright smile, and a small grin crept on Koyo's face.
ありがとう。
I think I'm talking
セ
too
ナなら
fast.
この時間は駅前あたりにいると思う。
I was relieved to hear him say something that didn't sound like an apology. I said goodbye to Koyo and made my way to find Sena. Near the station, I searched for Sena. Where is he? I looked through the crowd and let out a sigh. That's right, knowing Sena, he's going to do his best to not be seen. In crowded places, Sena always tried to hide himself from others. I started looking around for inconspicuous places like behind pillars. I walked around for a while until something flashy sparkled in my vision. That's... Huh? Without thinking, I gasped. I didn't know why, but he was in a place with a lot of people. Sena! I called out to him as I approached, and his face lit up.
僕に気づいてくれたんだね。
I was shocked as he quickly grabbed me with both hands.
君くらいだよ。僕に声をかけてくれたのは。どういうわけか、みんなに無視されてしまって、僕の知名度はどうやら地に落ちたらしい。
Oh. I stared at Sena, who seemed to be in a state of total despair, when it finally hit me. He had gone out of his way to be in a populated place. Yeah, I guess when there are so many people around, people don't really notice, huh?
本当にそういうもの？
Yeah, pretty sure. Either way, you shouldn't let it get to you.
君にそう言ってもらえて、ちょっと元気出てきた。
I smiled back at him, but inside I couldn't help but feel a little sad. So he forgot about me today too. The Sena that had fallen in love with me was already gone. Though I had shut him down all day yesterday, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't flattered. So, are you off today? His usual expression returning, Sena nodded.
久しぶりのオフだから、地元に帰ってきていてね。せっかくだから、街に出て買い物でもしながら、懐かしさに浸ろうと思ったんだけど。
He trailed off. He sounded melancholic. Perhaps he was sad that no one in his hometown recognized him. In that case, how about we go for a walk? We can soak up the nostalgia together.
いいの？君これから学校なんじゃない？
Oh, right. I was still wearing my school uniform. We're off today. I just had an event at school. It was a flimsy excuse, but it seemed like he wanted to believe me, so he accepted it without protest. Well, now that we're here. I figured if we toured some of the places Sena and I visited together, he might remember me. With that thought in mind, I dragged him around from place to place. But I simply couldn't get him to remember, and ended up just wasting time. Having exhausted all of our normal spots, we finally reached the ocean.
はあ。いろんなところを回れてすっごく懐かしいよ。
I'm glad to hear it. The whole thing had left me depressed. I didn't expect his memory to come back at all at once, but there wasn't even a hint of deja vu. Koyo told me this would happen, but he really doesn't remember me at all. Koyo would probably get upset if he knew I doubted him.
ごめん。疲れちゃったよね。僕ばっかり楽しんじゃったな。
No, I'm not tired at all. I really enjoyed taking you to all those places, Sena. That was the truth. I had enjoyed going to those places together with Sena more than I had expected, actually. Perhaps it was because I was with Sena. His bright and bubbly personality always found a way to make me smile. There was something dynamic about him, and it was obvious why he'd become an idol.
この海浜公園はね、僕にとって世界で一番好きな場所なんだ。
Oh? So it's pretty special to you then?
うん。子供の頃は遊具で遊んだり、芝生広場で寝転んで星を眺めたりもしてさ。親友と夢を語り合った場所なんだ。
I figured the best friend was probably Koyo. I had been watching the two of them for the past few days. They obviously cared about each other. I felt envious of both of them. Having passed away, I would never be able to talk with Sayaka again like that. Not to mention the way things ended with us. And she was still trying to save me. What did she think she could do? I was sure that she wanted to find a way to talk to me. I'm sure she was thinking the same thing I was. We both wanted to end things in some different, better way. That would make me so happy. I put my hand into my pocket and touched the career survey. If only I hadn't changed my plans for the future. I wouldn't have made her cry like that.
ねえ、どうしたの？
It's nothing. Don't worry about it.
僕さ、ラジオをやっているんだけど、お悩み相談のコーナーが 大評判なんだ。
Oh?
だから話を聞くのは得意だし、アドバイスもできると思う。
Was I really looking so gloomy that he felt like he had to say that to me? Yet the smile on his face and the warm glow in his eyes made me want to lean on him. And so I talked to him. What does it matter? He'll forget tomorrow anyway. In that case, whatever I tell him won't be a burden on him. With that self-serving excuse, I began to tell him about what was bothering me. My best friend. Well, the words wouldn't come out. I didn't know where to begin.
大丈夫だよ。ゆっくり自分のペースでいいから。
Thank you. When I smiled back at him, he spoke.
こんなこと言うのはおかしいんだけど、君が話す気になってくれて少し、結構嬉しいんだ。
Sena stared deeply into my eyes as though he was in some kind of daze.
どうしてだか君の話を聞きたくてたまらなくて、やっと心を開いてくれるってなぜか。
Finally? His words reminded me of our second meeting. When we met at the Tsukumo Shrine, he was very concerned about me then. Could it be? Is he remembering back to that time?
初めて会うのにおかしいよね。
As he spoke, he laughed and returned to his old self. It was just as Koyo said. There was something about me that Sena remembered. As happy as it made me, I still hesitated to talk with Sena about what I was going through. Would I end up becoming a burden to him? But having decided to lean on him once, I couldn't deny my desire to do so again. I'll try to tell you about it again, some other time.
いつでもいいよ。ずっと待ってるから。
His kind words filled me with a sense of calm, and in the end, I decided to speak. I have this friend. She's been my best friend since childhood. Sena was the first person here I told about this. My voice faltered as I slowly told him the things that were causing me such grief. Kind words, yeah. He runs kind words. That's his advice column. I hid the fact that I had died by telling him that the two of us were merely separated. Then, when I had told him everything, Sena began to speak slowly.
多分その親友の子はさ、急に聖銀大学に行かないってそう言われてショックだったと思う。詳しい理由もなしに、ただ違う気がするからって言われて混乱したんじゃないかな。
I felt a sharp pain in my chest that gradually spread through my body. As I spoke to Sena, I got a better perspective of my actions and how I hurt those around me. I was filled with regret at what I'd done. I cast my gaze to the ground when I felt a gentle hand caressing mine. Looking up, I saw his eyes staring kindly back at me. Hurt so good, his kind eyes.
君は抱え込みすぎていたんだよ。友達に話せば気を使わせるって。実はね、僕の親友は君にそっくりなんだ。何でも抱え込んで心配事を話してくれない。僕からしたらそれってすごく寂しくてさ。だって力になりたいじゃない。
His words struck me. I could tell he really meant them. I was wrong to tell her I wasn't going to Sagan the way I did. She must have wondered why I changed my mind. Had I been able to tell her why, perhaps things would have gone differently. I knew that I never would have realized that had Sena not listened to me. I wonder. Perhaps the fact that he cared about me was why his memory didn't reset. That seems a little self-absorbed. But I couldn't help but wonder if it was true.
まあ、僕も同じようにあまり心配かけないようにしなきゃって隠していた部分はあるんだけどね。でもどうしてだかバレちゃうんだよね。僕ってわかりやすいのかな。
That's just called being honest. My friend's the same way. That's right. It was right here by the ocean. It was our first year of junior high. It was the first time I'd seen Sayaka in a long time, and she was acting strange. As I thought back on it, something came to me. What was this? This was my junior high classroom. This took me back, but why was I here? Why was I seeing this memory?
私ね、最近ネイルアートにハマってるんだ。私は海外ドラマよく見てる。木田さんは好きなものある？
Huh? Sayaka? But where was she? I didn't see her. And those girls, they were looking at me. Was this Sayaka's memory?
私が好きなのは幽霊とかお化けとかそういう話。
え？オカルトってこと？
知ってる二人とも。この学校にも七不思議があるの。音楽室のしゃべる肖像画とか理科室の動く人体模型とか。今度放課後見に行かない？
でもちょっと怖くない？木田さんいつも怖い話するよね。怖い夢見ちゃうからやめてほしい。
あ、ごめん。
それよりもみゆちゃん、あのドラマ見た？見た。最後に言われてすぐ見たよ。
You reading my mind? Get out, that's invasive.
小学校の時の方が。
Sayaka? Once we got into junior high, we started going to school with kids from other districts. The classes just grew and grew. The two of us ended up in different classes. So in the beginning of the first year, Sayaka and I didn't have the chance to see each other much.
みんなと仲良くなりたくて、仲間外れにされたくなくて、興味のないドラマをチェックして、話を合わせようともしたけど。あはよ、教えてくれたドラマ見てみたよ。
あ、そうなんだ。それよりさ、昨日見に行った映画が面白くて。
そう、終わった後めっちゃ語ったよね。二人で行ったの？
うん。木田さんはあまり好きそうなジャンルじゃなかったから誘わなかったの。だってホラーとかそういうのしか興味ないじゃん。
そんなこと。
いいよ、無理しなくて。あ、そうだ、みゆちゃんさ、今日の放課後暇？うん、空いてる。っていうか、私も最後誘おうと思ってた。
It's kind of rude to invite, I don't know, to like make plans like that in front of somebody who, you know, might want to be a part of it.
どこで何を間違えたのか、彼女たちに合わせようとするたびに空回り。他に気が合いそうな子を見つけようにも、クラスにはもうグループが出来上がっていた。
What are they? Our parents? Surrounded by parents?
そして私に話しかけてくる人は一人もいなくなって、学校に行きたくなくて数日間この海を眺めに来ていた。どうしてこうなっちゃったんだろう。自分から誰かに話しかけることもまるで自分が幽霊になったような。暗い日々に耐えられなかった。そういえば小学校の頃ここでよく遊んでたっけ。私とあの子で放課後にちょっと足伸ばして。
Sayaka! I had a feeling you'd be here. Sayaka, what are you doing?
どうして、ここはどうしたの？
I'm playing hooky.
なんでサボってまで。おばさん、そういうの厳しいのに。
Well, I was looking for my friend. I heard your teacher say that you haven't been coming to class recently.
それは。
Hey, I thought of something. Next year, let's pick the same elective so we'll end up in the same class.
ここからだったと思う。私が彼女に執着したのは
Why are you so obsessed with me?
彼女なしでいられなくなったのはだから私が離れていく彼女を引き止めるために
I opened my eyes after seeing the vision of Sayaka's past to find a concerned Sena staring down at me.
よかった。気がついたみたいでほっとしたよ。
Sorry, guess I made you worry about me. Why are you so obsessed with me? I was glad to see the memories, but it would have been nice to not pass out every time I did. But this time it was Sayaka's memory. I think this gives me a better understanding of how all this involves her.
ねえ、大丈夫？
Yeah, I'm fine. Low blood sugar happens all the time. Don't worry about it.
それでも無理はしないでね。本当は君を病院へ連れて行こうとしたんだけど、君を抱きかかえた瞬間、どういうわけか。
Sena's condition was changing rapidly. His eyes wavered and he looked confused. Sena?
さ、変なこと聞くけど、僕たちって初対面だよね。ごめん、変なこと言って。でも自分の知らない君との思い出が。
Yeah, it's not a lie. My blood sugar is so low. Because I'm a ghost. It's not the first time. Without thinking, I blurted out the words. The truth is, we've met before. Yesterday, and the day before that, and the day before that too. He stared back at me, stunned, silent. Then finally,
僕、なんで忘れてるんだろう。
as he mumbled silently, I wondered if I should tell him the truth. But I wasn't sure if it was wise to confuse him any more at this moment. That's right, my name. If I tell him my name, he might remember. Sena, listen to me. My name is...
言わないで。自分で思い出したいんだ。そうしないといけないって、なぜか思うから。
Ah. Well then, if it really is love at first sight, you won't forget me. Was it because I said that to him? I should probably leave the rest to Sena at this point. He had to figure this out on his own, otherwise there was no point to it. Fortunately, he seemed to understand that he had forgotten something. All he had to do now was remember. Okay, I'll wait. I'll wait for you to call me by my name.
ありがとう。それと、ごめんね。忘れるなんて。どうかしてるよね。本当に僕は大バカ者だ。
You haven't forgotten me, right?
え?
Just because you can't remember doesn't mean you've forgotten. I spoke with a smile and he responded with an apologetic grin.
そうだね。こんな素敵な子は忘れない。必ず思い出すから。待っていて。
Of course. We should be halfway through the chapter. Maybe more than halfway. I'm not sure.
どうして思い出せないんだろう。
After seeing Lolli off, I laid down on the grass alone. I thought about going back to the station to finish my shopping, but I was in no mood to do so anymore.
Oh.
Huh? I think I've been here before. Thinking about that girl like this.
思い出せてきている。
An elation spread through my heart, and yet, at the same time, I felt my chest tighten and my heart palpitate in a way I'd never felt before. I don't remember this pain. And yet there was something familiar about the feeling, the sadness. What is this? Could it be I've forgotten something else besides the girl? Poor baby. If I forget you, I can fall in love at first sight over and over again. I parted ways with Sena and I went on a walk by myself to think. To think about Sayaka. The visions I saw today were unlike anything else I'd seen before. They weren't my memories, they were hers. But it was related to the accident. An unpleasant feeling spread through my chest. Sayaka said she's obsessed with me. In my memory, that's why she said she cast that spell, but that led me to think about what she was planning to do now. She said she wanted to save me. She's trying to make it up to me. Alright, we jump. We've done that option before. Alright. It's the only way! It's the only way, right? We've got no choice. Probably something like, you gotta hang out with Sena. Oh no! Gotta hang out with this handsome idol.
なら頑張るしかないな。
Seeing the confident smile on his face, I felt a little reassured. On second thought, I'm glad Koyo came along with me today. Koyo is familiar with the rumors of the boy in the mirror, and he told me about them as we headed toward the mirror. Oh, I think I remember this. Just as we arrived, I remembered. Come to think of it, yesterday, Sayaka had been in front of that mirror early in the morning.
鏡を見るためだけに閉まっている校門を乗り越えてきたわけではないでしょ。
早くに学校へ来たのは昨日うっかりしていて教科書を忘れて帰ってしまったんです。
Was she trying to do something with the mirror then? Then, in the classroom, when I thought she was studying diligently, she wasn't studying, she was just writing the results of what happened. Koyo was right, she'd already tried this one, that's why she crossed it out of her notes. I looked at the mirror in front of me and took a deep breath. Is anyone there? If so, please show yourself. Immediately, I heard a soft chuckle next to me, right in my ear.
悪い。でも声かけるより中に入ったらいいんじゃない？これが本当に怪談話の通りなら、鏡の中に幽霊がいるってことになる。なら幽霊同士だし、俺たちも入れるだろう。
Ah, yeah, I guess you're right. Now I kind of feel embarrassed for shouting into the mirror like that. Yet, according to the rumor I heard from Koyo, if you placed your hand on the mirror, you'd get pulled in. Well then, I'll go first. Then, just as I put my hand to the mirror, it stopped, as though I was touching a wall. I immediately turned to look at Koyo, who merely stared back at me. I can't get in. He seemed a bit flustered after speaking so confidently before.
いやいや、絶対にこの中にいるんだって。俺の霊感がいるって言ってるし。
Wait, you've never met this ghost before?
てか、俺たちが物に触れられることがまずおかしい。
I knew he was just trying to change the topic, but he was right. That was the stranger issue here.
それの中には確かに幽霊がいる。
Koyo and I jumped. Kureha stood behind us, an unamused look on his face.
まったく。騒がしいと思えば何をやっているんだ。
Yeah, stay out of the mirror. We're not meant to be in this timeline. Sorry, we weren't trying to be loud, but we need to talk with the ghost in the mirror.
どういう用事なのかは聞かないが、それに話しかけても無駄だぞ。引きこもっていて出てこないからな。それにどういう仕掛けか、鏡に入ることは叶わない。
Seriously? But that's something I really need to ask the ghost.
でも、いることはいるんでしょ。
なあ、姿を見たことはあるからな。
ちなみになんで姿を現したの？
あれはいつだったか、鏡のそばにいた生徒たちがスマートフォンを操っていてな。その画面をこっそり鏡から盗み見ているような、そんな感じだった。
You mean like it's into smartphones?
さあな。 大音量で音楽をかけていて教師に怒られていたのを覚えている。
Maybe it likes music. Koyo, you've got a smartphone. Why don't you take it out for a minute? Koyo obediently took out his phone from inside his pocket. He waved it around in front of the mirror.
何も起きないけど。
Then maybe it likes music? Hey Koyo, sing a song. Koyo glared at me with icy eyes. Okay, fine. Got it. You're not a singer.
鏡の幽霊のことは諦めた方がいいだろう。
And with that final word of advice, Kureha walked away. Guess we've got no choice but to give up. I took one last glance at the mirror but saw nothing there.
まだ音楽は試してないじゃん。
Okay, well, as ghosts, it's not like we can make music, right?
いや、ある。
Huh?
セナがいるだろ。あいつなら歌える。
That's right, we've seen this bit before. With that, the two of us went off in search of Sena to bring him back to the mirror. It took a while to find him, and it was evening by the time we got back to the school.
うわー、学校懐かしいな。ここの鏡の前でよくダンスの練習してたな。
Sena, I didn't know you went to Nare Megahama High.
うん、そうだよ。紅葉も同じ。ね、紅葉。
Upon Sena's prodding, Koyo merely nodded. I knew Nare Megahama High was Sena's hometown, but I had no idea he went to this high school.
それで、僕は何をしたらいいの？
Well, we want you to look into that mirror and sing. Before I could finish speaking, Koyo tapped me on the shoulder and pointed to the mirror. Following his finger, I saw. Yeah. Narimi Gahama. I just added high because I kept saying the high school, so I was close. It's fine. Thank you, though. There in the mirror stood a young boy. That's right. This happened in the other playthrough. Not knowing that he too was a ghost, Sena's screams echoed through the halls. If I thought I was alive, I'd probably have the same reaction.
S クラウンのセナさんがここにいるなんて。
Huh? He knows him? The young boy stared at Sena as though he was somebody that he deeply admired.
僕、響きって言って、あなたの大ファンなんです。
Sena, for his part, was completely unable to reply. He'd fallen to the floor in total shock.
引きこもりって設定じゃなかった。
That's not important. Thanks to Sena, this is our chance. I took one step toward the mirror and started speaking to the boy. There's something I need to ask you. The boy's line of sight shifted from Sena to me. The brightness that had been in his eyes faded and was replaced with fear. Yesterday morning, a girl, a student, she came here, didn't she? She's a little shorter than me, brown hair down to her shoulders. The boy's gaze wandered, and he stayed silent. Please, I want to know what she said to you. I'm begging you, please tell me. The boy repeatedly opened and closed his mouth and began to step away from the mirror. Wait!
響くんって言ったよね。
At Sena's voice, the boy stopped.
今、彼女が言ったことで何か知っているなら教えてほしい。
Thank you, Sena. I thanked him from the bottom of my heart and then heard a voice from the mirror.
確かに来ました。多分。
This is the playthrough where Hibiki is in love with Sena.
あなたの言う女の子なのかわからないんですけど。
引きずり鏡様、あなたはこの世ならざる世界に人を引きずり込むと聞きました。それが本当ならお願いします。どうか私を、今もさまよっているはずの私の親友に会わせてください。
そう僕に懇願してきたんです。でもすぐに先生に見つかって。
Everything he told us seemed to match up with the scene I saw unfold yesterday. That was most likely Sayaka. Sayaka's the only one who would think to do something like that.
あんたに会うためにあの世に行きたいって。
Koyo was about to say something else but quickly closed his mouth.
僕の鏡はあの世なんかに繋がっていないです。だから引きずり込んでなんかないです。
Hibiki spoke with such nervous force, I smiled to reassure him. You don't seem like the type of person to do that, Hibiki. Don't worry.
ありがとう。よくわからないけど、聞きたいことは聞けたのかな？
Yes, I did. Thank you. Though I still don't know exactly what Sayaka was planning. There's only one thing left to try. The spirit board. His loud voice surprised me, and he seemed quite taken aback. Oh, I don't remember this happening in the other playthrough. But I know that because I don't remember a connection between Hibiki and the purple spirit board guy until the spirit board playthrough. Oh, it's a K name. There's Kureha, which is the red guy, and then the purple guy is Koharu.
コックリさんはやったらダメです。いたずらに呼んでいいものじゃないから。
それやったことあるやつの言葉？
Hibiki's body trembled in response.
こらこうよ。僕のファンを怖がらせないでよ。ファン？
Hibiki looks so happy. Look at this. As though he'd never been scared in the first place, Sena flashed Hibiki a winning smile. Even if he was still sitting on the floor.
コックリさんはとっても優しいあやかしです。だからその
it's Koharu. Not I don't think it's Komaru. Koharu. But yeah, no, he's not my favorite. But he's not at the bottom of the who's at the bottom of the list? Let me think about that.
あまり迷惑になることはしてほしくないんです。
Had something happened between them? Either way, he didn't look ready to tell us. I won't be causing any trouble. The truth is, I need information about a dear friend of mine.
友達ですか？さっきの女子生徒のことですか？
That's right. She's in trouble, and I want to stop her from doing something dangerous. Hibiki looked around, seemingly lost, before pulling something from his uniform pocket. Then he gently reached his hand outside the mirror and placed it on the ground.
それはコックリさんを呼び出す道具です。あなたを信じて貸します。
Thank you so much. As I shouted excitedly, Hibiki's cheeks blushed.
これから儀式の方法を教えるので、しっかり覚えてください。
After that, he taught me how to summon the spirit of the board, and I committed the whole thing to memory. Then, his eyes sparkling like before, he shook hands with Sena and disappeared back to the other side of the mirror. I said goodbye to Koyo and Sena after that and headed straight for the nurse's office. I wanted to use a spirit board right away, but was told evening was the best time to do it. So the time of day has something to do with that. I decided to spend the time chatting with Yui in the nurse's office. Huh? It doesn't look like she's here. It was the first time I had been able to find her here. Yesterday, she mentioned that she wanted to gather the courage to head outside. She seemed to be working very hard on herself recently. I took the career path survey out of my pocket and looked it over. I still can't remember if something or someone pushed me that day. I let out a sigh. I didn't feel like waiting here by myself. Maybe I should go out for a bit. Maybe I'll bump into someone. Besides, some fresh air could do me good. Maybe I'll get attacked by a wraith. Oh no! We're gonna go to the shrine. Green Yoshi, thank you so much. I know this was a longer one because we just rushed through a few chapters, but thank you so much. Have a good night, and I'll hope to see you again soon. I decided to visit Tsukumo Shrine, where I found Sena praying. Evening, Sena. Are you praying?
あ、君だったんだ。こんばんは。うん。君のことを思い出しますようにって神様にお願いしてたんだ。
Sena? Oh, trailer just dropped. Yay. Yeah, sleeps for the birds. Yeah. Enjoy. Enjoy that beach trailer. Silas on the on the wave runner. I saw some really I'll tell you. I'll send them to you later. I saw some pictures on Twitter, X. Yeah. Yay.
他力本願って怒られるよね。他力本願って怒られるよね。自分でも情けないなって。
I'm just happy that you want to remember me.
そう言ってくれる君が僕にとってどんな存在なのか早く知りたくて仕方ないよ。まあ、大切な存在なんじゃないかなって。
His words made my heart jump. It's like yesterday, when he fell in love with me at first sight. Well, how about we sit and talk for a bit?
うん。君と話したいなって僕も思ってたんだ。
Thank you. In that case, hobbies. Sena, what do you like to do for fun?
趣味か。仕事してる時が楽しくて、それ以外ってあまりないんだよね。
Well, then, what do you do on your days off?
友達に会ったり、家のことをしたり、今みたいに地元に帰ってきたりかな。僕さ、作詞と作曲もさせてもらっていて、だからお休みの日も作業してることがほとんどなんだよね。
Wow, you really are talented. You're amazing, Sena.
新鮮な反応かも。君に言われるとすごい人になった気分。でも僕にとってはそれがやりたいことだから、すごいとかそういう感覚ないんだよね。
Next time, I want to hear a song you wrote, Sena. Seeing as we were both ghosts, I realized that would be pretty hard, but I did truly want to hear him sing an original song.
うわー、すっごく嬉しいよ。聞いたら感想をちょうだいね。
Sure thing. After that, we continued to talk about Sena's work for some time. After we finished talking, I finally gathered the courage to visit my house. I hadn't totally prepared myself to go inside, however. I wonder how my mom and sister are holding up. When I had seen my sister yesterday with Sayaka, she seemed to be doing all right, which left me very relieved. But, Mom. The last time I spoke to my mom, we fought about what I was going to do with my life. I'm sorry I said I didn't want to go to Sagan. Even if I was alive, I didn't know if I could have done exactly what my mom wanted. My future and my career didn't matter anymore, but my heart still ached as I thought about them. If I was still alive, what would I have done? Would I really have convinced my mom to let me follow my own path? Even now, I had no idea what I wanted to do. This is stupid. I don't have to think about this kind of thing anymore. I tried to get that out of my mind. Then,
やっぱりそうだ。
she's here too.
遠くから見つけて、あなたかなって思ったんだ。
There you go. It was the third time I'd met her. My heart filled with a mixture of fear and dread.
あなたを探していたの。話したいことがあって。
As she took one step toward me, I instinctively took one step back.
ねえ、どうして逃げるの？後ろめたいことがあるからよね。夜空のことで。
I figured something must have happened. At first, I didn't know who she meant, but I soon figured it out. She was talking about Koyo. Do you mean Koyo?
こうよさん。ね。はあ、わかってないんだな。夜空はね、レイカの彼氏なの。今、サプライズを計画しているの。
Uh-huh. Koyo and Reika are together? I had no idea. Koyo and I had never really talked about our romantic lives before. I had no idea the two of them were a couple.
でもね、夜空を見に行くたびにあなたがそばにいるからすっごくイライラしてたまらない。
I didn't know. I'm sorry.
いいの。知らなかったなら仕方ないもん。でもこれでわかったよね。
I nodded repeatedly, and Reika stopped walking toward me.
レイカのこと夜空に言わないでね。サプライズが台無しになっちゃう。
Got it. I won't say a word. I promise. Reika smiled and let out a high-pitched giggle before disappearing into the night. I had no idea Reika and Koyo were a couple. I continued to walk as I thought about what had happened, eventually ending up at the park. That incident with Reika before had been quite frightening. I grew quite worried about how I would react the next time I saw Koyo.
あ、また会ったね。
I looked around, searching for the source of the voice that called out to me. Where,
こっち、下。
a little further down the road, I spotted Koyo and Sena laying down on the grass. Ugh, there's Koyo. What are you guys doing down there? Sena stood up and began walking toward me. Before tightly gripping my hand in his.
君も一緒に星を見ようよ。
Huh? Sena quickly pulled my arm to where the two of them had been laying. I'm laying right next to Koyo. I prayed that Reika was nowhere nearby to watch this scene unfold. In order to avoid any confusion, I scooted over towards Sena.
何？俺のそばが嫌なわけ？
No, that's not it. Absolutely not.
変な口調。怪しい。
もうこうよったら、こうよのことが嫌なわけじゃないよ。
Yes, that's exactly right.
彼女は僕のそばに来たくて、だから僕の方に寄ってきたんだよ。
Woo! Right. Wait, what?
セナがタイプなんだ。
No, it's not like that.
ってことはセナの勘違いか。セナお疲れ。
でも、これからだからね。うん。
Oh, what are they?
ほら、とりあえずさ、君も横になって星空鑑賞会しよう。
But I still had my reservations, but I knew any more protests would make them even more suspicious. Maybe it won't bother Reika if Sena's here too? I hoped that would be the case and lay down on the grass between the two of them.
あ、今流れたよ。
Shooting star, make a wish! Ah, I missed it!
本当に流れた？全然見えなかったけど。
I couldn't help but wonder when the last time I looked at the night sky like this was. At the very least, I hadn't done it since becoming a high school student.
僕と紅葉は子供の時からこうやって星空を眺めていたんだ。お互い家を抜け出して待ち合わせは決まってこの芝生広場。学校のこと、テレビや漫画の話、それから将来の夢を話したりしてさ。
And then they had their first kiss.
セナばっかり話してたよな。俺はだいたい聞き役。
そうだったね。でもこうよ、聞いてると思ったら寝ちゃってた時もあったじゃない。
子守歌かと思って。
もう意地悪だな。
As I listened to the two of them, I tried to imagine them as kids. They must have enjoyed each other's company the same then as they do now. Ah, another shooting star!
見た見た。
今のは俺にも見えた。
Under the twinkling sky, we took turns pointing out shooting stars and making wishes. I wish the three of us will someday find peace. Yeah. Anything can happen in the spirit world surrounded by perverts. Yeah. I wished it from the bottom of my heart. Ah, so sweet. So sweet. All right. Good on us. We done did it. All right, let's give it a save. Good job. All right, now we're on the new stuff. So, thanks for hanging out with me tonight. Oh, this is gonna be a good but sad route. I already know, but that's okay. That's okay. Chotomate. Okay. Alrighty. Oh, well, before this ad break starts, thank you so much for hanging out with me. My next stream is tomorrow on Iriam for Study Buddies Lunch Japanese, and we're gonna go raid. We're gonna raid the lovely Miss Huminao. Oh, I forgot I don't have that. I don't have a raid message. Just raid and put emojis, you know. But thank you so much. Yeah, you can't escape. Why would you want to? We're heading over, but thanks so much. Like I said, I hope to see y'all again soon. Bye-bye.